What we do here is go back.
Hello friends and welcome to my new video. The title already announced it. Today's video is another episode of my 90s vinyl series. As you might know, I grew up in the 90s and this is just my favorite century of music actually, because yeah, I grew up in that time and that always makes this special connection. And I picked up a lot of records over the last couple of weeks and I can't wait to show you what I got. Let's go. Alright, so I want to start off with the soundtrack today. This is just playing in the background right now. And of course that's the original motion picture of The Silence of the Lambs. The famous 90s movie with Judy Foster and Anthony Hopkins. And yeah, one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the story, I love the movie, and yeah, it gives me thrills, I have to say. And the soundtrack is of course by Howard Shore, and this is actually a masterpiece, highly underrated or unknown actually, but this is some scary shit if you ask me. This is the 2015 pressing. It was just reissued on Geffen Records, and the pressing quality could be better, but I'm just happy because this was more or less a little grail, I have to say. The Silence of the Lambs soundtrack. Yeah, another big 90s classic. I love this one. Of course, I'm talking about Green Day's Dookie from 1994. Yeah, more than 20 years old. And of course the big hit Basket Case, but here is also Long View on it. And I mean, this is actually a classic album from start to finish. I listened to this one in my youth, oh my god, hundreds of times, and I'm just glad that I finally bought it on vinyl. Same for the next record. This was in my collection since 3 years, I think. It's Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, and yeah, another of my big 90s favorites, and one of my favorite albums of all time. I love her voice, I love her music, and this is just some classic stuff. And because this is one of my all-time favorite albums, I had to get this one as well. This is Jagged Little Pill Acoustic. The whole album from start to finish played in acoustic versions. It was released in 2005 and only on CD back then, and this is the first time it got a vinyl pressing from Music on Vinyl this time. Pressed on 180 gram vinyl, great quality, great sound if you ask me. And in this case it's limited to, I don't know, maybe 1,500 copies, and they pressed it on clear vinyl. And yeah, fantastic. I love this concept of playing a whole classic album just acoustic style. Fantastic. This is what I love. This is definitely what I love. Up next, some more electronic albums. This was a recommendation by VC member Chris. He visited me on Tuesday and we had a great time. And he saw that in the store, I didn't know it, and he made a recommendation. It's DJ Spooky, Songs of a Dead Dreamer. Released in 1996, this is a US pressing. I got it for $8, which is a fantastic price. And this is some, I only listened to it one time. Yeah, some abstract, instrumental, experimental hip-hop with heavy electronic influences. Very experimental album, but that's exactly what I like, and that was a great buy. Same for the next one. This is by the German group or the German producer Karma, and this album is called Thrillseekers. And this is some down-tempo trip-hop in that kind of style. I already have the debut album, and this was a great addition to the collection. Karma. The next one was a find from my local recycling place, and I got this one for €1. The artist is called Keziah Jones, and the album title is Blue Funked is a Fact. French pressing from 1992. And I just saw it, and for $1 I said to myself, come on, 1992, this could be a good album. And indeed, it's a fantastic album. It's hard to describe, yeah. He calls his own style blue funk, and that's true. It's a mixture of funk with some soul influences, but also a typical 90s sound. And I was happy to pick that up because it's even a little rare, I have to say. Bought this one here in my city. The Coldplay debut from the year 2000. I think now I only miss X and Y, and then I have all Coldplay albums. And I have to say that this is one of my favorites. I definitely like the early stuff better. And Coldplay is just, I mean, Chris Martin, his voice, it's a bit controversial. Some people, some folks like his voice and some don't. But I like it. And I also picked up Viva la Vida from 2008. Yeah, 7 years ago. Feels like yesterday. And actually I just bought this album to complete the collection a little. But there are some songs on it I like. And overall, I mean, I got it for $10 and that's a great price. Coldplay, Viva la Vida. Yeah, now some crazy second-hand pickups. I got them very, very cheap. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, and this one is called Into the Great Wide Open from 1991. I got this for €1, and when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. I freaked out because I knew how rare it is actually. And yeah, Tom Petty, fantastic album. Shout out to my good friend Ryan Rocks 84, Ben. I know that you're a big fan as well. And yeah, I picked this up for €1. That's so crazy. And I also found Tom Petty Full Moon Fever, and I mean, the day couldn't get any better. Perfect stuff. I love this album. This is from 1989. And when I went to this second-hand store, they had a whole range of 90s music actually. I also picked up this one, Van Halen from 1991. And this album is called For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge, or as some other people just would say, fuck. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't like that album that much, but I mean, now I will add it to the collection and maybe I need to spin it again. But for €1, fantastic find. Same for the next one, Genesis, and this album is called We Can't Dance. I think this is also, yeah, from 1991. I don't like the later Genesis stuff, I just like the early stuff. But anyways, a great addition to the collection. Near mint, strong near mint condition. And I just had to get it. I started this video with a soundtrack and I will end up with a soundtrack, also €1, and one of my favorite movies from my childhood. And it's a Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's how the cover art looks like. Of course with the big hit by Bryan Adams, Everything I Do It For You. And that was just fun listening again. I mean, this is some cheesy stuff of course, but this is actually a good example for how the 90s were in a way. Yeah, I mean, pretty cool for $1. Perfect. Alright friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Have a great week. I will be back with some more updates soon. And yeah, see you next time. Bye bye.